Welcome to the Pharmacist Voice podcast, where we talk about pharmacy topics and careers so you feel connected to the profession of pharmacy and inspired to contribute to it. I am your host, Ohio pharmacist Kim Newlove. This is episode 340. The 2025 Pharmacist Authors Series continues today with part 2 of 3. The goals of the series are to keep you reading this summer, of course, and to inspire you to write a book and narrate it too. Dr. Ashely Walker is my guest today. In just a minute, we'll talk about the chapter she contributed to the book Expanding Your Brilliance, Creating Effortless Abundance While Navigating Business and Motherhood. It's a collection of chapters written by pharmacist moms like Ashely and published by a pharmacist mom named Dr. Christina Fontana. If you are thinking of writing a book, Dr. Ashely Walker just might inspire you to start your writing journey with a single chapter, too. It's a great idea, great introduction to writing. A link to this book that she contributed a chapter to, which is called Expanding Your Brilliance, is in the show notes on thepharmacistvoice.com. In the show notes, I'll also have links to my other 2 interviews with Dr. Ashely Walker. Now, during our interview, Dr. Ashely Walker talks about why she accepted the challenge to write and publish advice for pharmacist authors, her father's impact on her life, the challenges of being a wife, a mom, a pharmacist, an advocate, and an entrepreneur, and her involvement with an organization called Atomic Hands. We also dive into how personal stories about our unique abilities, such as Ashely being a deaf person, can inspire others. Without further ado, here's my conversation with Dr. Ashely Walker. Hi, Ashely. Welcome back to the Pharmacist Voice podcast.
Hi, Kim. Thank you for having me back again for the 3rd time.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited to have you part of the Pharmacist Authors Series for 2025. Congratulations on becoming an author.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me tell you, I definitely was not expecting to write a book. And to be honest, I actually ran from it. Yes. But I'm glad that I embraced it because when I realized it's just a small part, okay, I can do this. So I really just went for it.
I'm glad you did. I think you are a role model for other people who, like you, thought, I can't do this, but it's just a chapter among many in a single book.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
to be honest, growing up as a kid, reading and writing stories that some of them were real, a lot of them was just make believe, just me dreaming out loud on paper. I did that very often as a kid. And it slowed down when I started college because I didn't have time. And then life got in the way, pharmacy school, and I just stopped writing. And I really thought, there's no way I can write a book. I haven't written anything in so long. I used to write poems. I did a little bit of everything. And people have always told me, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. And I'm like, why? Do you know how much goes into writing a book? You just want me to just pick up a pen? I said, it just doesn't come out of me like that. I have to plan it out. And when I was bugged, let's use the word bug, to share a very small chapter. I was like, why? And I thought, okay, I'm gonna stop running. It's just one little chapter. And I said, okay, I'll do it. But little did I know that it was gonna be a very therapeutic, healing, and eye-opening process for me.
When I read your chapter, it sounded just like you. So I feel like it was really authentically you. I read your chapter twice because I wanted to be very familiar with it.
Thank you. I have to be honest. When I started writing the book, my father was heavily on my mind. Heavily. Because, my dad raised me. And I remember him telling me when he got word that I was deaf. I remember being in that appointment like it was yesterday. And I remember my dad saying, he said he went and sat under the big grape tree. We had a big grape tree in the front yard. He sat there and he just cried. And he told me, he said, I didn't cry tears because I was sad. He said he cried tears because of who I was. He said, even as a 4-year-old kid, I was already outspoken. And he said he made up in his mind that he was going to do whatever it took. She encouraged me. She said, see, my dad never told me no. If I wanted to learn how to play the drums, he was, okay, how do we help you? He was always about, let's figure out how we can make it from can't to can. And that is where my drive and who I am today comes from. Because I had a foundation that was a big support, and they didn't see my deafness as a bad thing. They just saw me as an individual, as Ashely, the daughter, as Ashely, the nerd. Because I always had a book and a pen and paper in my hand, always writing stories, making up stuff. And my dad, he would read everything and praise me for it. So writing this book, he was heavily on my mind. And it made me stop and reflect. Wow, look at all that I have accomplished over the years. Because I never took the time to sit and soak up all of the accomplishments that I've made because it was, okay, I gotta get to the next step. I gotta get to the next step. And when you're deaf and you're such a minority in a world that is predominantly hearing,
Yes.
and you have that pressure of, I have to fit in a world that's not like me. I have to fit in a world that doesn't always accommodate me. 95% of the time, it doesn't accommodate me, so I have to work extra hard. So I'm always thinking, how can I stay ahead so it doesn't get overwhelming? So I never took the time to look at and appreciate what I've gone through. And writing this book helped me to appreciate that.
It's good to reflect.
Yes. So this was a reflective journey, if you will.
Yes. And you mentioned your dad in your chapter of this book. You mentioned that he said you were going to be an advocate someday, and now you are.
He did. He said I was going to be an advocate, and I remember that conversation very well. And I was like, Dad, you have lost your mind. Do you know how much weight that is? But he was right. And it's funny how your parents already know just by your personality and what you do and what they see you do and accomplish. And they can call it out on the spot. But we're too busy. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do my own thing. Really? I enjoy being an advocate. It's not work for me. It's fun because I get to meet so many different people. I get to be an encouragement to other people who might not have that. And seeing somebody who doesn't have anyone in their corner, whether it's a big win or a small win, that means more to me than anything.
Walking with other people on their journey is very good for them, of course. But you have something that they may not have yet. You have grit. You have overcome some challenges. And just for you to walk alongside them, it's almost like you give them a little bit of that, like, hey, if I can get through all these troubles,
Hey.
being deaf or, having kids and needing to stay home with them for a little while and then realizing I need to go back. Those challenges that you've had in your life maybe will help other people, maybe inspire other people.
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, my dad was heavily on my mind when I was writing this book. It wasn't until after the book was published that it hit me. I lost my dad in February 13th, to be exact. Christina was kind enough to let me get a sneak peek of the book before it actually went live. And in a sense, it was like literally hearing my dad say one more time, good job, good job. So it was healing for me. It was comforting for me. And I didn't realize I needed that at that moment. You know, I didn't realize that.
Ashley, right here, I have the Kindle version of the book, so I'm showing it to Ashley right now.
I,
And
I got the hardcover version.
very nice.
And you know what's so funny?
Hmm.
I'm on page number 121. It's 21. It's one of my favorite numbers because it's my birthday. 21.
That almost seems lucky, don't you think?
Yes.
I noticed that in the book, pretty much all of the authors in this book have been asked a set of questions. You have been asked, what's your why? And you shared that. You shared how being a mom shaped you. You shared what you give yourself permission to do. And you talked about challenges you've conquered, how you fill your cup, advice for the journey, and you talked about being a powerful role model. Out of all of that, what was your favorite part to write?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Probably how being a mom shaped me. And the reason why I say that is because everything that I've gone through as a mom, it really was what lit the fire in me to become the advocate that I am now. It was very eye opening to me because even though I've had to fight just for myself, but it's different when you fight for your kid. It made me appreciate the fight that I've gone through because by the time I had my children, I already knew how to fight. It was just a different type of battle. You know what I mean? So talking about my children, how it shaped me, how it changed my thinking, how it prepared me to, okay, I can apply this same concept to my own professional and personal journey as a pharmacist and as an advocate, and use that to connect the bridges between two worlds because I'm living it. I'm literally living it as a patient myself, a caregiver myself, and a professional in the same healthcare space. So that was really my favorite part because you can see the parallels between raising children. It's not steady, right? Raising children is not steady. And I have three amazing children, one son and two girls. They all have totally different personalities. And they are just mind blowing to me. And being able to juggle that, you got to be able to juggle your business, right? And you even have to be able to juggle as a pharmacist because you don't see the same people every day. Nobody's DNA makeup is the same unless you're identical twins, but that's a different story. So, learning how to switch can be shaky, but you do it enough. You know when to respect it. And you're not as overwhelmed because you know it's gonna come. But you have that peace about it because you've been through it.
We all make choices, and we all have to live with the choices we make.
Right.
As moms, who working moms, we have to choose sometimes work over family. And we just have to count on those other people in our lives, like husbands and grandparents, to
Yes.
complement,
Yes.
make up for what we can't do. And we are torn in so many different directions. It can be really heartbreaking because you want to do it all as a mom. And I like that you kind of talked about that in your book. You wanted to be there with your kids while they were young, but you and your husband have bills to pay. So I
Yeah.
love that you talked about that because anybody can relate to that. And any pharmacist who's not a mom yet needs to hear that because when it happens to them, they'll see it coming. Nobody warned me about that, how you were just going to miss things. And you're going to have to find a way to let it be okay. It breaks your heart, but it happens. I wish somebody had warned me.
Yes, and even as a mom, whether you are a pharmacist or whatever your career may be, even if you have a unique ability, I like to use the word unique ability instead of disability.
Yes.
Often, many of us who have unique abilities feel like I can't be a mom because of our very own unique abilities. We feel like, and you hear society say, you can't do this, you can't do that. Look at me, literally. You have to design within yourself that you're gonna block out the noise. It's a little bit easier for me to do it because I just turn my hearing aids off. Literally, I just turn them off, and if I'm not reading your lips, it goes right over my head. You have to be able to block out the noise and decide this is what I want to do, but also be gentle with yourself and be honest with yourself, knowing that it's not gonna be easy. And I'm gonna tell you, it won't be easy. But if you stick to it, give yourself grace and have fun while you're doing it, it won't seem like a burden. It won't seem like you're making a mistake because you're not. You're making a conscious choice. I want to be a mom. You can be a mom. You can be a business owner. You can have a unique ability too. It just means you're gonna move differently. And it's okay to move differently because it works for you.
In addition to being a mom, a pharmacist, and an entrepreneur, you're right, you do have a unique ability. You are a deaf
Yeah,
person. And
yeah.
I think in addition to everything you have to offer in this book, you also have to offer that. That is something unique that you're offering in this book. I don't know if anybody else in this book has a unique ability. Do you know if they do?
Um, there are actually some other moms that I've met who have talked about their own unique abilities in person, but they didn't put it in the book
Ah, I see.
because they didn't really see it as a part. You know how like most people assume if it's not visible, it's not worth talking about, right? But it is worth talking about. And the reason why I say it is worth talking about is because your very own unique ability may very well be the one thing you need to make everything work for you. It may be the one thing you need that makes you stand out in your own business because you get it. And it may make you a hot commodity in your area because there's nobody else doing what you're doing. So don't be afraid to talk about it.
Thank you for mentioning that. I talk all the time about the fact that I'm an autism mom. And some people, I worry that some people think that I'm playing the victim card or saying it to get sympathy, but I'm not. I want people to
Right.
know that I am the parent of an adult now with autism. And because of him, that is really why I went into the voiceover industry and started narrating and podcasting and all these things. I have the I feel like the truest why you could have. I love having a voice and using it. I think everybody should use their voice. So I talk about my why a lot.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And how can people relate to you if they don't hear about other people that may be in similar shoes as they are? And just talking to somebody or listening to someone talk about similar journeys may be the very push they need to dive right in and go for their dreams, right?
Yes, I like that you and I both talk about our challenges. I think that's important. And I like that we both have that
Yes.
in common. How did you hear about this writing opportunity with Dr. Christina Fontana and this book?
So I was actually a client of Dr. Christina Fontana, and I'm a huge, huge fan of her energy, and she always calls me out. She always calls me out. And how she approached me, she said, I don't care what it takes. You need to be in this book because you have a story to tell and people need to hear it. And I'm thinking, not you, truth. But it was something different about her approach that made me say, okay, sometimes that's what it takes. It has to be the right person at the right time, you know? And I think that's what it was. It was just the right person at the right time. So she gave me that safe space and she gave me the opportunity to write my own personal story without giving her input or saying you should say this, you should say that. No, she let me be authentically me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, she didn't try to edit you.
Yes. She did not try to edit me. She just gave me the path. And she said, you can either walk on it or you can stand on the side. And I chose to walk on it on my own accord and stand in my own truth.
Now that you have written a chapter in a book, will you be maybe writing an entire book next?
The idea of writing an entire book does not seem as intimidating anymore. And I've actually started writing.
That's exciting.
I can't fully call it a book yet, but I'll just get this urge or I'll come across something that reminds me of something that, hey, I want to write about this. But I didn't really realize I was writing my book. So I'm excited to see how this turns out.
Good luck on your full length book. I would love to read it when it comes out. I think that's very exciting.
Thank you. Thank you for the encouraging words.
You are welcome. Before I pressed record, you were telling me that you are actually going to be kind of narrating something, a book for somebody. Can you tell me about this opportunity?
Yes. So I ran into the co-founder and the founder of an organization called Atomic Hand. Both the co-founder and the founder are deaf. In a little bit of a small world, we all went to Rochester Institute of Technology. In my final year of college, I was a summer program leader. And these two young ladies were my peers. They were in my group. And I ran into them at a conference 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you guys since 2008. And to see where they are in life today, knowing that they started this organization called Atomic Hands, and what Atomic Hands is about. They focus on STEM and they produce books. They write books. Whether it can be about science, technology, math, what have you. And once they have their book written out and illustrated, they find someone deaf, hard of hearing, maybe a coder, but someone who is fluent that actually lives the life of whatever the topic they're talking about at the time. And they asked me, would I be willing to be the signer for a book about doctors and medicine? So I'm so excited to do that. And I'm honored to do that as well. And these books reach students in middle school and high school.
That is awesome. This is very much like narrating a book, but it's visual. So you will actually be on video. doing
Yes,
the ASL, doing the American Sign Language for this
yes,
book so people can
yes.
watch you.
I mean, a perfect example of this, I don't know if any of your followers watch PBS Kids. There is an ASL section on PBS Kids. And if you want to get an idea of what it would be like with this book that I'm going to be signing, find an episode like Daniel Tiger in ASL, and you will see an interpreter kind of blending in with the screen like in a little box, signing the entire series. Yes. So
I
that's
had
what
no
it's
idea.
like. It's just adding another visual aspect to a program, a visual program, but in a language that can reach another group of people that communicate using American Sign Language to make it easier to understand. Because ASL literally is taking spoken English, signing the concept, and it's like an image in your head. You're painting a picture of the story based off the signs that you're seeing.
Thank you for introducing me to that because I had never heard of that until our conversation today. And I just wrote down Daniel Tiger in ASL on my notes here in front of me. I will be checking that out. I think that's really cool. I've never seen that.
Yes. My kids love it. My kids love it. And also, my kids, they are Steiners too. Especially my youngest, she's 3. And I just love when she's watching Daniel Tiger. She goes, Mommy, turn the sound off. I just want to watch the hands. And she's telling me what the hands are saying. Yes.
You must be so proud.
Yes. But I'm like, yes.
Well, really, you are her ASL teacher, right?
Yes.
So you're giving her an A plus.
Yes.
A
She
plus.
gets an A plus because I'm watching them. And then we go to a lot of deaf events here. So they pick it up so easily. And when I sit back and I watch my children interact with other deaf children, because all of my children are hearing, how they're just so immersed in the culture and they're so open and they're so willing and so helpful. Because even I, as a mom, I still struggle understanding some of my kids, and I'm like, what? Because sometimes they're talking way too fast or they're moving, and one of the siblings will step up and say, Mom, watch my hands. And they'll sign to me what the other kid is saying. I'm like, thank you.
You've got
Thank
little
you.
interpreters in your house.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes. And I was one of your students, but unfortunately, I forgot some
Yes.
of my signs. But you are a great
But it came
teacher.
back.
It's coming back the more I practice.
Yes.
Yes, I need to practice.
Yes. You need to practice.
Practice. Thank you. We're
Yes.
doing a little bit of signing. Anybody listening to this cannot see it, but anyways, we're doing a little practicing here. I enjoyed your sign language classes. Are you still teaching?
Yes. I'm definitely still teaching sign language classes. I will say that during the summer months, my teaching slows down because my babies are home from school. So I like to soak up some fun time with them. But I will have classes going back full swing in the fall when everybody goes back to school.
Sounds good. And you can work on writing too.
Yes. Working on writing, working on advocating, because it's really a passion of mine for healthcare to be much more accessible, understanding, and sympathetic towards meeting the needs of others. Because how can you be in healthcare and not have sympathy for anyone? You know what I mean? How can you be in healthcare and not want to initiate change or welcome change?
More awareness will lead to more people having sympathy or empathy.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
awareness definitely needs to increase.
In healthcare, whether you are blind, have autism, cerebral palsy, deaf, It doesn't matter what unique abilities you have. It's present everywhere in healthcare. The problem is the spotlight is not there. And we need to bring it to light because when you bring something into the light, more people are aware about it. And I believe this is just a personal belief of mine. I believe that when you see something over and over and over again, somebody out there is going to want to make a change towards that. Somebody's going to want to change the path. Somebody's going to want to make it more accessible. But it can't happen unless it's out there. So the more we talk about it, the more we see it, the more common it will be, and more people will be like, oh, this is normal. Because it is normal. We just have to put it out there more.
What you said about shining a light on things that are not typically brought to the forefront, that resonates because I feel like there are a lot of things that have stigma, meaning a mark of
Yes,
shame. And it's because they're not put out into the limelight for other people to see. And I think, yes, deafness or certain aspects of autism, cerebral palsy, any unique ability needs
yes,
more light shined on it for other people to see so that they're familiar with whatever it is that we can help with. So we need to learn to relate, shine a light on it, learn to relate.
yes. I can give you a perfect example. Even being a pharmacist, I can't tell you how many pharmacists I have met that have come up to me and said, hey, I sort of understand what you're talking about because I'm losing my hearing too.
Oh,
And I'm like, but why are you ashamed of it? It's okay. But I understand where the shame is coming from. And part of this shame is, what if the higher ups find out I can't hear? They're going to terminate me. I get it. And it's a very real fear. I get it. But we can't normalize it if we don't bring it to the light.
right. Sometimes fears are unfounded. We need to bring them into the light and then find a way to relate to our boss and show that we still have value, even though we do have something that might need an accommodation.
Right. Yes. And you encourage somebody else when you step up. And they say, oh, if she can do it, I can do it too. It may not look like mine, but you'll have that confidence that I can do this too. What works for me? What can I use that will work for me? Because nobody is the same. You just have to do what works for you and not be ashamed to do it. Who cares about what other people are thinking about you? At the end of the day, as long as you're happy, you're living life the way that you want to live it on your terms. Who cares what Joe over here says?
I know what you mean. I think people need to think more about what they do want and less about what they don't want.
Yes,
Well, let's get back to talking about the book for a few minutes and then we'll wrap this up. How's that?
perfect.
The title of the book is Expanding Your Brilliance, Creating Effortless Abundance While Navigating Business and Motherhood. So I feel like the audience for this book is moms or moms to be. Would that be right?
The main audience is moms. Yes. But I always like to stop out and say it's for any woman, whether you want to be a mom or not. Because you can always draw inspiration from someone else.
Absolutely. Can you tell me where can my audience buy this book?
You can email me and I can send you a copy. Yes. Or you can actually get the book from Amazon. It's available on Amazon. Simply type in the title of the book, Expanding Your Brilliance, Creating Effortless Abundance While Navigating Business and Motherhood. And there you go. Voila! You can purchase your own copy.
Gotcha. I bought the Kindle version and it worked for me. I like to read when I'm at the gym on an elliptical machine, and this is perfect for me because I don't have to worry about like opening it up and, pressing it flat. The Kindle is wonderful. So that's what I bought. And did you know that there is a computer generated audiobook version?
Yeah. But unfortunately for me, it's not gonna come natural for me to recommend the audio version because I'm like, I can't do it. But I do know it's available out there. Yes.
I just thought I'd throw that out there for anybody who says, I don't have time to sit and read. You know how busy moms are. Moms like audiobooks. So I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. And just think about it. Even if you buy the hard copy, just know that each chapter is so short. You can literally read this book in a day. Literally, if you wanted to. But of course, as busy mom, that might not be possible.
I know what you mean. But yeah, you're right. The chapters are bite sized. So you
Yeah.
can just read one chapter a day and you'll be done in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I am proud of you for writing a chapter in a book and possibly coming up here writing a full book. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me come back today to share my experience. And I truly hope that your audience, somebody out there is going to be touched. Somebody out there is going to be like, okay, I can do it. And whoever you are, go for it. Dream big. Because at the end of the day, it's you that's going to reap the benefit of it. It's your children that's going to reap the benefit of it. Because they're going to see mom living her best self unapologetically.
I think you did a great job. As we wrap this up, is there any other advice for first time authors that you might like to give?
But first time authors, get out of your head. Get out of your head and have fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And let me tell you, when I wrote my part, I just wrote in one. Because I wanted it to be authentic. Yeah, we made some grammar corrections here and there, but what you read and what you listen to, that is me pouring my heart out. No filter needed.
It really does sound like you. I've known you for a few years now, and it really did sound like you. So you nailed it. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ashley, thank you so much for coming back to the Pharmacist's Voice podcast for a third time. Maybe we'll have to do a fourth time when your full book comes out. How's that?
Thank you. Who knows? I'm always happy to be here with you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And you have a great summer.
You too.
Thanks. Thanks again to Dr. Ashley Walker for being my guest on episode 340 of the Pharmacist's Voice podcast. I hope you enjoyed hearing Ashley talk about her experience with writing and publishing. As you heard, she initially resisted the idea of writing and publishing, but she felt safe accepting Dr. Christina Fontana's invitation to contribute a single chapter to the book Expanding Your Brilliance. If you listening to this today are interested in writing and publishing too, consider starting with a single chapter like Ashley did. It's a great way to start small and build your confidence. Someday you might write an entire book, and someday Dr. Ashley Walker might as well. During our conversation, we also learned that Ashley found the writing process to be therapeutic and healing, especially as she reflected on her life experiences. Writing helped her appreciate her accomplishments and her father's support. Ashley is a deaf pharmacist. She's a wife, a mom of three, an entrepreneur, an advocate, and so much more. I hope Ashley inspired you by all that she is and all that she's become, all that she's accomplished, and also that she's showing that unique abilities can be strengths and can lead to opportunities, such as this one she talked about at the end. She is going to be helping with Atomic Hands, which is going to be kind of like narrating an audiobook, but visually with American Sign Language. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I am so excited. Very cool. Great interview. I absolutely loved interviewing my friend Dr. Ashely Walker for a third time. I have a lot of information for you in the show notes today. You can find the show notes at thepharmacistvoice.com. And in the show notes, you will find a link to Ashley's book on amazon.com. You can also email her for a copy, like she said. So her email address is in the show notes as well. I have links to Ashley on social media. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn in the show notes. Ashley mentioned that this is her third time on my podcast. So I do have links to our other two interviews in the show notes, along with links to the other episodes of this series, the Pharmacist Authors series from 2023, 2024, and 2025. There are always lots and lots of links in the show notes. You can find those on thepharmacistvoice.com. Now, as we start to wrap this episode up, I'd like to remind you that I am also an audiobook narrator and that I also help other pharmacists narrate their audiobooks. So if you need your book narrated or if you need help narrating your book, reach out to me. The best place to go to find out more about my narration services is kimnewlove.com/narration. That's kimnewlove.com/narration. Now, if you know a pharmacist who might be interested in reading Dr. Ashely Walker's chapter in Expanding Your Brilliance or needs some inspiration to write their own book, please share this episode with them. And if you like this podcast, come on back. We've got a lot more coming up here in 2025. Subscribe to or follow the Pharmacist Voice podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube to get each new episode right when it comes out. Thanks so much for listening today. Read a good book this summer, and I'll talk to you next Friday.